Positioning is a really important thing when you're working a dog from a chair. So I wanted to show you a little bit about how it can look when you have Maisie better trained, because we're going to start working on this and we're going to use touch quite a bit. So the main thing that you usually want is you want to be able to have your dog work on one side pretty consistently, but you also want them to be able to move where you need them to move, because we take up more space when we're in a chair than we do when we're standing, and obviously also there's the issue of not hitting and rolling over the dog, which it's so easy to do, and believe me, I've done it many times. Okay, so if I want my dog to, let me just see, we haven't done this in years, so he's going to be totally out of practice, but we'll see what we can do. He's also old and injured, so, but I'll see if I can show you what it looks like. I'm going to go a little slower. So let's go. So this is some heeling off leash. Let's go. Good boy. So he's sticking pretty close. He's a little bit out of position. Good boy, because he's out of practice. So that was the right turn. We'll do a left turn, which is harder. I trained him quite a bit on the left turns. Let's go. So he's pivoting. Let's go. So this is a pretty advanced, good boy. Let's go. And I just stopped there because I could tell I was just about to run over his front paws. So his pivot obviously needs work. Let's go, because he's in pain. Good boy. So he's not doing a great job. Let's go. But you can see he's not getting in front of the chair. He's not crossing in front of me. A back up is really helpful. Back up. Back up. Back up. Good boy. If I want him to get in position if he's behind me, find it. I taught this with a touch to Barnum's side. So this is to line up in heel position. Do that again. I tend to toss treats behind side. Good boy. To get them in position, because it makes it easier to have them come up behind you. If I want him to come to the other side of me, we haven't done this in years, we'll see if he remembers it. Around, other. Okay, beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. I'll move over. Release, find it. Let me move over so you can see that. Okay, Barnum, side. Touch. Side. Good. So if I wanted to go around to the other side, around, other. Good boy. If he was on leash, it would be a lot more complicated. So you always want to start training all this stuff off leash. Around, Barnum, side. And I usually like to have them go around behind for this, because depending on where your legs are, you should figure out what works for you. For me, it worked better with the leash to have the dog go behind me, because often I had my legs out front extended like this, and that was too difficult. All right, what else? So that's what the dog is learning to do. So I want you to do a lot with touch, so that you can really work on moving Maisie around you. So if you have touch, then you can move her without pulling her with the leash. So I'll show you what that, and right now, if I were to go forward, I would run over his toes. So one of the pieces is training Maisie to move with you, but the other piece is every time before you click your joystick, you want to look, where are her toes? Where is the dog? Can I see her? So right now, I can see I would run over his toes, so I'm going to move him with the touch cue. So because he knows back up, I would cue him to back up. But if he didn't, I would put my hand back here and say, touch. I can toss the treat, or I can toss the treat behind, find it, and then I can move. Because I'm looking in the video camera, I can see where he is. But the two things I want you to get used to you working on, separate from the dog, are looking down, where are her toes before you move, and if she's behind you, not moving until you know where she is. Because what was happening was, let me see if I can show you with the leash. was happening with her was, so I'm gonna go so you're behind me. Let's go. Yes, all right, that was lovely. That was a beautiful demo of getting into position. So what was happening was she was behind you back here, and you started moving this way, and she was like, the leash was caught, so she was getting hit by your chair as you were swinging around, like you were going into her like that. So I'm not doing a good job of demoing it. But my point is, if she's behind you and you can't see her, where is the dog? You're not gonna move until you do touch, and then you know where she is. So you can move her with touch, or you can move her with tossing a treat. So if she's behind you and you can't see her, and you don't know what's happening with the leash, find it. So if that's happening, right? And I don't know, where is the dog? Right, if I can't see her, if I can see her, I'm going to turn and look. But if I can't see, what is the leash doing? This is exactly what happened before. So the leash is caught on the back of the chair, and the dog is over here. I don't want to turn this way and hit him. I don't want to turn this way and get the leash stuck. So I'm going to toss a treat so I can figure out where the dog is. Find it. Okay, now I know where he is, and I can start turning.